Hey guys, welcome to part 3. We're here in my garage, or what I like to call my shop. We're going to be covering the breathers, rockers. We're going to put it all back together, the covers, push rods, and the push rod covers, or tubes. So hopefully this video won't take too long, but I'll go over each step as I do it, show you how to rebuild the breathers and whatnot. Thanks. Let's get started. I'm going to be doing the breather assembly. I got the sponge, the valve, and the gaskets. Just going to pull this bad boy right off. It's the old sponge. It looks pretty rough. Alright, now we're just going to try to get the gasket off in one piece, but looks like we're going to have to scrape that off. So inside you got the old, I don't know, rubber valve. Just a matter of popping it off and just pushing on the new one. This new one's so much softer compared to the old one. It's definitely going to work better. It's cleaned up. I pretty much just use a screwdriver to take the gasket material off. Just be careful not to scratch the aluminum so you get a good seal. And the sponge. It should fit in there pretty snug. That'll keep the oil from leaking up in there. And the gaskets. Use the screws. Hold everything in place. That's it. That baby's ready to roll. That's all set, clean, ready to go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side, same thing, no difference. And there we go. Put that in. Put your top. See, sit right next to the one. Spot in. You guys see it right? Nice, flexible. This one. That's it. Top. Finish all my screws. I'm going to see this very well. I figured out probably why I was getting a lot of oil blowing through the air filter from the engine. And these things, I don't know if you can see them. This one's pretty worn out, but it's still together. When I took out that rear cylinder, it just fell apart. Look at that. And then the rear cylinder, the valve itself, is pretty hard. It's not as flexible as it was when it was new. Front one was a little bit better though. So I guess all that blow by I was getting and leaking out of the air filter was probably due to these valves and these sponges. But anyway, that was one of the reasons I wanted to do it this way, was to actually replace all these pieces. Alright, let's just take this bad boy apart. Just do a quick inspection, make sure it's okay. Up a little bit. Famous lube. I like to lube everything up. This is just a preventative. Keep it from rusting. I'll help keep it from rusting. Oops. There we go. And then the last one. These go on the top. What I'm going to do is put them in the engine case instead of putting them on here. I think they'll hold better in the engine case. So when we get to that point, we'll get that done. Alright, these old gaskets are pretty, they're pretty worn. See how that broke? So, one of these was leaking. Yeah, see, they're junk. That's why one of the tools are actually leaking. Just gonna take the gaskets out. I'm just using this little tool. It's got a nice point on it, and then you just stick them up in there and pretty much pull the gaskets down. So we're just gonna push the new ones right in place. They should stay if you can get them up there. There's got to be one or two that are a pain in the buttocks. Okay, like I said, you just want to make sure they are well seated. You can actually look from the top and you can tell if they're seated well or not. So that's it for that. Now we get the push rods and covers. So we're just gonna place them in here for now, like that. Just let them sit. Make sure you don't lose your gaskets or O-rings. And now we're going to put our rods in. The front, the rear, go through the tube, to the top, and right onto the lifter. Ooh, look at that, I just made that mistake. That one goes on the front. And this is the one that goes on the back side. See how easy it is to make a mistake? It's crazy. If you don't pay attention, how simple it can be. And I even mocked them. When you put them in, just make sure that they're seated well. And onto the hydraulic lifter, so you can actually kind of feel it. Yeah. You kind of feel like a suction when it's seated on the hydraulic lifter. Alright, that's it for that. We're not going to put the tubes in yet. We're going to wait until I get the rockers on. Up here, there's two little O-rings that need to be replaced for the breather system. These are in pretty bad shape too. Just pop that in like that, and then we'll get the other one out. I don't know if you can see them. I'm going to bring the camera in, and that's the O-ring right there. There's one on each side. Those are the brand new ones. Okay, I already got Loctite on these. Just get them all started. And then the other side. This one is easier. What I do is I just leave the bolts in there, put it in. Do not snug any of these down at this point. Right now I got this one is not top dead center. And it could cause damage if you try to just tighten this down right now, because one of the valves is actually open. I'm just getting them started. That's all I'm worried about right here, right now. Torque spec on these is 24 on the bolts for the rockers themselves, Newton meters. 13 on the breather bolts. 13 Newton meters and 24 on the rocks themselves. I gotta get the cylinder top dead center and get the valves closed before I can even do anything. Right now, if I was to tighten this down, this valve, the exhaust valve, would open up. Now another trick, if you do take these push rods out and you don't know, you didn't mark them, the manual actually says that the black is your exhaust and the silver or lighter color one is for the intake. These are actually different sizes. So best bet, like I said, when you take all this apart, is just mark everything so you don't mess it up. So black exhaust, silver, or the lighter color is the intake. Just for future reference. Cylinder's top dead center. So I'm just gonna snug these down now. Now there's no pressure on those rockers. It's just sitting there. So just hand snug them down. Okay, they're all snugged down by hand. Now I'm going to just torque everything down. Use my dandy handy torque wrench. I am using a flex on this. Some of you probably say don't do that because your torque will be off. But there's really no way to get in there on some of these boats. So all I'm doing right now is going to 10 Newton meters, and then I'll torque it to 24. According to man, you want to crisscross them anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. Going right to 24 Newtons. Alright, let's check them. One last torque. Make sure they're right where they're supposed to be. And that's it. Now I just gotta do the center. The other one was my socket. And then we'll do those to 13. Okay, she's done it. Now I'm going to bring this cylinder, top dead center, relieve the pressure on the valves, and I'll torque this one down just like I did that one. Everything's torqued down. We're going to call it a day today. The video's getting a little lengthy, so I'll make a part 4. We're going to be buttoning it up, you know, put the tank on, finishing it up, and then the ultimate, and that's see if she runs, see if I did a good job. Leave any comments. Give me some likes if you think the video's been helpful. Appreciate it. Have a good day, guys.